Burna Boy going after Olori's logos, Davido's signing, and a songwriter. I think this issue is very simple. Burna Boy does not understand the meaning of songwriting. That is one thing he needs to actually understand and sit himself, down. Burna Boy has sampled over 64 songs in his career. And that is also a form of songwriting. I will explain to you so that you will get to understand it that it's not somebody putting a pen down to write song and ask you to sing it in the studio. That is songwriting. Songwriting is in many forms. That is one thing we need to understand. We were right here when Ishiran sampled Propeller by Buju, and acknowledge Buju as a songwriter in that song F64. And a lot of people can really understand that from a different point of view. And somehow, Olori's logos came out to say something about, the lives of Whiskey, the lives of Burna Boy, Davido, and a lot of others. Even the best artists in the world, do uses songwriting. And they are looking at it in Nigeria as songwriting means you don't really know how to sing or, write song. That is not it at all. You need to actually understand that the likes of Beyonce, they use songwriters, and then these guys have been, kind of backing awards, Grammy awards back to back because of all of this. Let's listen to Olori's logos and get to understand what he said before I dive into the whole story and make you to understand this big shit that is trending out on social media.
Most people that say oh, writing this, they don't know about the music business. They don't know how it goes. Like as a musician, you tend to write your songs times when you are up and coming. When you are when you have 10 shows in a week in different countries, you understand that you need a songwriter. Chris Brown have a songwriter, Michael Jackson had a songwriter. Like it becomes a big business that you can't do it alone. Then because now David is on tour, like he just finished his wedding and the next was in New York performing. So
At the big stage too, yeah.
like he writes his songs, sometimes he gets inspiration and does, but most times he has to do the business part of it. So then it becomes like he's basically a company. That's how Burna is. How most people are, but they just put it out. But if you go to their Spotify and if you look the back ends, you see the writer of the song. Even Whiskey, everybody there, they use songwriters as well.
What can you make out of this? What is your own take about this? You need to actually understand that when they talk about songwriters, we have about three categories of songwriter. We have, those people that actually wrote the song for you and you sing word for word. We have those people you sample their song. They are now acknowledged as songwriters. We still have, the producers. They are also acknowledged as the songwriters. But Burna Boy is really acknowledging the producers as the songwriters. And this is why I love Davido to an extent, because this guy is not shy, he's not ashamed to actually acknowledge songwriters and reward them accordingly. And many people have actually attested to that. Burna Boy came out to say, you know what? The only person that has written song for me is a person of Peruzzi, and that really got a lot of people talking. What about the samples? Are you not acknowledging them as songwriters? That is the question many people are really asking. I think Burna Boy does not understand how the things play. Songwriters are categorized into three parts. Those people you sample their work, they are songwriters in your song. As far as you use a significant portion of their work to complete your project, they are songwriters, and you have to acknowledge them as that. That is what the law says about copyright and songwriting, and Burna Boy needs to understand it from that point of view. Olori's logos is not way off it, because he's tried to explain that many people, many world artists, our number one artists in the world, they use songwriters because you cannot really do it all alone. You are not an island in yourself. Burna Boy is trying to claim that he is an island in himself, and that is not going to count, positive for Burna Boy. I think the likes of Burna Boy hardly acknowledge songwriters, and that is really bad of Burna Boy to an extent, and we have to acknowledge it and get to understand the big story at a point like this. On this, what is your own take? What do you believe about, Burna Boy coming out to say he does not use songwriters? I want you to put that in the comment section, because a lot of people are really responding to this big story and calling it Man, Burna Boy, you are making a mistake. Burna Boy does not understand how it works, and I think he needs a music executive to actually explain to him proper, so that he will get to understand it better at this time around. Because it seems like Burna Boy dislike songwriters. That is what it is, and does not like to acknowledge them in his work. And I think it's not right for Burna Boy using somebody's kind of work in a significant amount. You should acknowledge the person as a writer also. That is something I will tell you guys about this whole thing. And many people will come out to say, what of the people that are citing the works of others? They are also contributors to that particular project. That is something you need to understand. And you see novels that has been written by a single person. You have to understand that the person does not owe anybody apology to acknowledge himself as the sole writer. Guys, a lot of people are coming out to speak about what is trending on social media. That is Sophia Momodu, Davido. The story is all trending out on social media, and a lot of people are having says on this. I think based on what Sophia has actually filed at the affidavits filed against Davido, the highlight is mentioning the death of Ifeanyi to score a cheap point in court that is going to haunt forever. That is something I kind of understand, because a lot of people are terming it to be evil, coming in from an evil mind. It takes you to conceive evil. But some people are saying that when fighting in court, you can use anything to fight. That is it. But when fighting in court, especially when it comes to family issues, don't use everything to fight. That is one thing I would advise people, because I've seen that and I've experienced that. I know how it hurts to an extent. So you need to actually understand that Sophia is not really winning with this whole thing, and it's all trending out on social media. People are coming out to support Sophia. Why the video has come out to say, you know what, I'm giving up the joint custody battle, to Sophia, so that when Imade grows up, she will understand that, daddy fought for you, but mommy didn't allow daddy to get close and all those things. Sophia has been coming out on social media to pride herself as kind of strong woman, kind of being father and mother to Imade, but constantly nag about Davido not bringing in money much and all those kind of things, and saying that she is the one solely responsible for the tuition and everything, all the money being spent on Imade, to an extent that Davido stopped spending money. But this guy is coming out to say, you know what, I'm ready to spend the money. I need a presence in my child's life, but you are making it unbearable. But you want to get the money from this guy, but you don't want this guy to be in the child's life, because you are already trying to program your child to making her to believe that, yes, the father is not a responsible person, and the rest based on what you are now saying on social media, based on the stories we have about you to an extent. But some people are coming out to defend you on this. Man, I will not defend you on this. I will not defend the video on this. These guys are becoming so selfish about the whole thing. Davido is not being selfish because he's demanding a joint custody. But you are becoming selfish because you're demanding a sole custody. And I believe that you are using Imade as an instrument against Davido. But while using it against Davido, you are careless and reckless in your statement, and that is going to haunt so big at a time like this. Using Davido's late son as a score point in court is really awful to an extent. You didn't consider the lives of Choma on this. What you are simply saying is Choma is not a responsible wife enough. That is what you are really simply saying. That means you are against Davido marrying Choma to an extent, and that is what is really loud about this whole thing. A lot of people are getting concerned about this whole story, and it's all trending out on social media. What are your own takes about this whole story? I want you to put that in the comment section. Now, the likes of Dan Crane is coming out to score cheap points with this and dragging the video on Tagbo's death, and that case has been treated and forgotten. But this guy is trying to dig out the past to an extent, and some people are really jumping on this thread. And the likes of Burna Boy came out to blast Dan Crane on this, asking Dan Crane to pull that down on social media. That haunts so much, and that is so loud and a big allegation to an extent. But Burna Boy also went ahead to really mock Davido with his situation. That is what many people are really looking at a time like this. And these are the things haunting and getting big and getting some kind of discussions on social media.